What's up, YouTube? Welcome or welcome back to the Saving Men's Lives Network. Today, fellas, I want to talk to you about cohabitation and why, for Western men, it is the biggest mistake you'll ever make. Top 3, easy. The reason for this, number 1, is because if you've got a woman and you and she are intimate with each other, and you can't keep your hands off each other, your logical brain as a man is going to betray you in thinking that, okay, I'm beating these cheeks up 3-4 times a week. If I moved her in with me, she's there every day, and therefore I can clap them cheeks all week long, except, you know. The problem with this is, fellas, when you move a woman into your space, it is almost guaranteed that your sexual access to her will begin to diminish, in some cases immediately. Remember, women are often a case of diminishing returns. The more you put in, the less you get back. And so by moving her into your place, that 3, 4, 5 times a week, you'd be lucky if you get it twice a week. After a month of this, after a year, you'll begin to wonder if you can even remember what she looked like without her clothes on, because now she's wearing big baggy pajamas. When you would go over her crib, it was always lingerie, if she wore anything at all to bed. Now she's like a lumberjack wearing Winnie the Pooh bedroom slippers. It's crazy, man. Don't put yourself in a position to cut yourself off at the knees with your access to her. If she asks you, can she move in? The correct answer is no. She gets mad, let her get mad. But you need to maintain the parameters of the relationship. You're in charge. She's not. And if you're not in charge, you're with the wrong woman. Number 2, she will try to dominate the space. How many times have you seen in real life, TV sitcoms, movies, guy moves a woman in, she's already trying to take down his moose head off the wall, she's trying to take down his sports memorabilia, she's trying to move everything he's got that he loves that's in his place and put it out in the garage or maybe in a storage unit across town, so forth and so on. Matter of fact, the whole idea of a man cave to me is an absolute slap in the face, especially if you're the one paying the lion's share of the bills. If you're paying all or 80% or more of the bills, this whole damn house, this whole damn apartment is my man cave. And every square inch under this roof. Get in where you fit in. Now, women will say, they'll complain that, well, I want to make it my home too. Fantastic. Fantastic. But you don't delegate the man's things that were there before you and will probably be there long after you to a place of second-class importance. If you love your stuff, fellas, leave it where it is. Run a Swiffer cloth over it to get the dust off it, sure, but leave your stuff where it is. Because once she starts to dominate the space, she will start to dominate you. Number 3, women value scarcity, fellas. For all the guys in her DMs, all the guys she's got trapped on Friend Zone Island, for all the guys that cold approach her at the grocery store and the post office and just walking down the street, she catches the bus. If you guys live in the big city, she catches the train. There's guys constantly hitting this woman up all the time. And very rarely is it a guy she's actually interested in that would be an actual threat to you in terms of what you bring to the table and maybe how good you look at whatever the situation may be. Maybe she can hold out for a little while. But I'm telling you right now, women value the guy they can barely get a hold of. They value the guy whose time is more important than her. They'll complain about it. They'll bitch, they'll whine, but trust me, the guy they can get when they can get is the guy they want more than everybody else. The guys in the friend zone, man, they'll get up at 4 a.m. in the pouring rain to come and change a tire for her. Snap her fingers. They're right there. She don't value them dudes. She don't value them guys in her DMs, sending her good morning, beautiful. Oh, you're a goddess. Fire emojis, tongue hanging out emojis. She don't value that nonsense because it's everywhere. There's a reason why diamonds cost more than those rocks they use at the railroad tracks. Scarcity can't happen when she's living under your roof and you see her every day. She'll begin to become complacent. And what's special becomes commonplace. And for a woman, since they're not built like us, what becomes commonplace for a woman begins to be devalued and mistreated. Do not give her a key, fellas. Number 4, the eviction laws, depending on your jurisdiction, I guess they'll vary. And the domestic violation laws are not in your favor. Ask yourself a question, fellas. How many times have you been in an argument with a woman? Follow-up question. How many of those arguments did you start? Funny how that works, isn't it? Imagine working all day to pay the bills. You've invited this woman underneath your roof because she wouldn't shut the hell up about it. And you come home after dealing with work and traffic, and God knows you almost hit a dog on the way home because he ran out in the middle of the street. You got enough on your plate when you cross that threshold. And you walk in the front door and the first thing she starts rattling off is a honey-do list. Fix this, clean that. Why you home so late? Blah, blah, blah. You don't need this fucking bullshit. You don't need that. You don't need it. And if you snap on her, she will default play the victim. Let's say you and she ain't getting along. This whole moving in thing ain't working out like I planned it. You want her gone because she's showing you a side of herself you didn't know she had, right? You want her out, you want her gone. And she decides, well, I'm not going nowhere, blah, 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 blah. And this is whether her name is on the lease or on the mortgage or not. Either way works in this scenario. She decides she ain't leaving. So you say, you know what, fine, I'll leave. What does she do? What's the main tactic they love to use? Blocking your exit. Now, she's probably just 5'2", barely over 100 pounds. You grab her by her damn throat and throw her across the fucking room to get out of the door. But of course, if you tap her so much as a fingernail, she's gonna throw herself through the glass coffee table and just swear to God you smacked her around when the police show up. It's a scam, fellas. How many women do you know of personally or have heard about who beat themselves over the head with a meat tenderizer and then called the cops and said the guy did it? And he's sitting there looking crazy because the cops have been trained under the Duluth model. I'm gonna do a whole episode on that. But they're trained to automatically assume the guy is the perpetrator in the interaction. So they put cuffs on him and frog march him out of his own house because of a woman who should have never been there any more than a visitor at the best. The laws are stacked up against you, fellas. Do not find yourself on the receiving end. Don't let her move in with you. But number 5 takes the cake. Don't you ever, and I don't care how tough life is at the moment, move in with her. She'll paint a pretty picture. She'll be sweet and kind and give you access to all 3 of, or at least 2 out of the 3 of, her moist holes. Have you convinced that moving in with her is the best thing ever? We'll save money on rent if we're not both paying rent, you see. It would just be half. You pay half, I pay half. Or whatever the case may be, right? Sounds good. Until she walks in there a week from now, a month from now, with a pre-made argument for her own entertainment. And if you're the kind of man that doesn't like arguing, and you shut that nonsense down, because that's exactly what it is when it happens. You shut that argument down, and you make her feel like, oh, he's not going to fall for it. He's not going to entertain me with the back and forth. Get out. And now, you got to pack your things and go right back where you started. The apartment you let go, which was a great apartment. Maybe you got to move in with family because you didn't have a backup plan, because you thought this would work out, because you thought idealistically that this was a good idea. So now you sleep on the best friend's couch. Now you begging the job for more hours, more overtime to try to find yourself in a place where you can gather up enough money for a new security deposit for a new place. All because she got in her feelings and lost an argument that she started. All because she wouldn't shut up about all the dumb stuff she argues about and complains about. Now you out on your ass. Or your clothes been cut up or poured bleach all over. Or something else crazy thrown out all over the front yard because she lost an argument she started. Fellas, it is never a good idea to move in with a woman who isn't perhaps a blood relative. Now, if it's your grandma, your mom, if you and your sister get along pretty well, you got a female cousin, y'all been cool since y'all was little kids, that may be an exception. These folks are blood tied to you. And as a result, they are much more inclined to be invested in your outcome. But make no mistake, fellas. A woman should be moving into your frame, not you into hers. That said, fellas, that's my time for the day. Take heed, especially you young guys about to leave high school, you guys in college, my friends all over the military, all over the world. Do not move in with her and do not let her move in with you. If you're already getting the cheeks, you're not going to get more by having her in your face all day. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we working. Till next time.